Idealism is a theory where power is not the same as control. This means that economic power doesn't mean you control everything. And realism is a theory where power equals control. If you have military power, you can control everything around the world or internationally.
Nationalism is the love and loyalty for a country, and the willing to sacrifice and die for it. An ethnic conflict is an armed conflict between ethnic groups. A political conflict is a positional difference regarding values relevant to society. Economic conflict is when states are fighting for resources that will help increase and benefit their economy. A territorial conflict is when states are fighting to gain more territory and expand their lands and increase power. Religious conflict is about different beliefs and the tolerance of accepting different ideologies and religions the states have towards each other.
Israel and Palestine is located next to the Mediterranean Sea. It is west of Iraq. It is a territorial conflict between the Palestine, the Jewish, and the United Nations. It originated from 1948 when the World War II ended, where the British sent the Jewish people or the Israelis to Palestine, and this became in conflict, and they started a war between them to gain their territories. Syria, which is located north of Israel and west of Iraq, and also next to the Mediterranean Sea, has a religious and political conflict that started in 2003 that is involved by the United States, Sunni, Shia, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Syria. This started when the USA eliminated Saddam Hussein, who was suppressing the Shia, and as the Shia started to suppress the Sunni fought back with ISIS, which is now a very big terrorist organization who are killing many civilians and trying to regain Syria.
Crimea is located in a peninsula in southern Ukraine's Black Sea coast. The conflict that is going on in Crimea is a national and ethnic conflict because people believe that they could separate from Ukraine and be a part of the Russian Federation. Vladimir Putin was in favor of Ukrainians' decision of uniting the Russian Federation. The majority of the population in Crimea are Russian ethnic groups, forming a 58% of the whole population, while Ukrainian ethnic groups only form a 28%. The Arab Spring is a political religious conflict going on in the Middle East. It all started in December 2010 when a Tunisian man burned himself as a protest to the corrupt government in Tunisia. They wanted to collapse the old system and start a new one. They believed that secularism had to be defended, but they also wanted the implementation of Islam. In Syria and Iraq, Islamic states began to rise. This is a very violent religious conflict in the modern days.
Kurdish. This was an armed conflict that took place in Turkey in the year of 1984 between Turkey and Kurdish. The conflict, as I said before, began in August 15 of 1984 when the terrorist organization PKK announced a Kurdish uprising from Turkey. The conflict started when the PKK and other insurgent groups demanded the separation of Kurdish from Turkey. The conflict stopped in 1999, but suddenly, 5 years later, it started again in 2004. Yemen. It began in 2014, and it is a political conflict between Yemen, USA, Saudi Arabia. Everything started when the rebel group Houthi adopted the Yemeni president's chief of staff. This caused that the president Hadi take over the security of the capital. This made the Houthi feel that the government was plotting against them. All this started a conflict between the Houthi and the president Hadi, and it is basically all about who is with the Houthi and who's supporting the president Sudan. The conflict takes place in East Africa, Sudan, West Sudan in the year of 2003, and it is a political conflict. As Darfur is divided in small villages, the government decided to let the Arab militia in. This was to remove them or even eliminate them, as helping them is not profitable. But they say they are not helping this militia and letting The Yaya will eliminate and remove this civilization from West Darfur.
A religious conflict is about different beliefs and the tolerance of accepting different ideologies and religions the states have towards each other.